Good morning, bird brains, and welcome back to another episode in the garage. I'm not going to call this a build series because this is more of just a final, I wouldn't say final, fixing the things that I should have done in the first place. Let's get into it. So I know you guys are going to be super sad. Everyone's going to be so disappointed and upset, but the decals gotta go, guys. I'm making the call. That's clearly sarcasm in case you didn't read through the comments at all. The internet basically, it was basically like this. Shut down. And rightfully so. I will admit that I was not correct in picking this particular logo. But let me kind of walk you through the process as to what happened, why I chose this, and why I didn't go with other options. And then I'll show you what I ended up going with for the second round. So when I first originally designed the Battle Donkey, this is basically the render that I went with. As you can see, this is pretty much exactly what it ended up with. And I would also venture to say that most of you guys would agree that that rendering looks better than the actual product. I would hope that you would think that. Reason being is that that bike is on a completely white background. You also see nothing but white through the wheels, white behind the windscreen. It's a lot more white than what you were usually seeing on this bike. And granted, I wanted this decal to be a statement. I wanted it to pop. And I put it on and I thought to myself, you know what? That is a little extreme of a pop. It matches, it looks a lot better in person than it does on camera. Pretty much everyone that went to the Twisted Sisters ride agreed that it does look better because you really get to see the white on the tires and the white on the saddlebags. But I was like, I'm gonna give it some time. I've given it about a week, and every single time I pull in the garage and I have to look at it, I hate it more and more. So I have to admit, the internet was right. That is not a good decal. But what's funny is when I was rendering it, it was between this one that you're seeing here and this one. And that's the one that we're gonna be going with. As you can see, it's just an outline. It doesn't have the filler, so it's still white, so it's still gonna tie into the tires and the saddlebags really well. And but it's not going to be a huge, giant splotch of white like it is right now. And I can hear you guys typing already. Calm down. I'm gonna explain why I didn't go red and why I didn't do black. So why I didn't go red was actually a very easy explanation. One, I think it'd be too much red. I've done it in renders. Here it is, here in the render. And even with it being perfectly matched, I don't really like the way it looks. And here's an example of how off red can get. Red's one of those colors that if you're off by just a couple shades, it really sticks out. So I'm hoping that the camera captures this quite well. Not really, it looks freaking spot on camera. But this is the vinyl that I have. This is the red. I'm looking through it on the viewfinder. I guess you can kind of see that this is kind of darker. This is more of an orangish. Guys, this red is impossible to capture correctly on camera. Let me get another red. So this is the red that I used on my Camaro, which was the closest vinyl I could find to the color on the Camaro. And as you guys know, if you watch the build series, that this red on the bike is extremely close to this red. That one shows up a little bit better on camera, but IRL, a lot worse off than it's showing here on camera. And then I can also use my new helmet graphics, which is a shiny chrome red. Let's see what I can get it up next to. Yeah, this just is not working for me because on camera they look spot on, but trust me guys, they are quite different. So I guess for you guys seeing it on camera all the time, it wouldn't have been that big of an issue, but in person, it's quite a bit. So that answers the all red. Some people were saying red with a white outline or white with a red outline. Once again, getting it to match would have been damn near impossible. And I don't like doing two layered vinyls. They get really thick, they look cheap, they don't last as long. Not a big fan of it. And then last but not least, why I did not go flat black or gloss black, and that I'm gonna kind of tie it back to what I said earlier, is I want it to be a statement. I want it to pop, and I don't think either of those colors would have popped at all. Like I said during the wrap video, this is satin, so it sits right in between gloss and right in between flat. For example, there is a decal right there. See how it's not making a statement at all? You really have to get down and get the right light at the right angle for it to be visible. And while I think that is cool, I think it's a nice little touch, it does not make a statement. But let's go ahead and start getting this taken care of so it's not as much of a statement as it's being right now. I'm really hoping I can just heat this up and be very careful with a very sharp X-Acto knife and get this off without damaging the wrap, but who knows. I got the new vinyls over here. I cut them to the same shape and size. I just modified the design a little bit. So that's what we'll be looking at now. So hopefully if I do have any sort of like leftover residue, or if for some reason it's already faded a little bit, that shouldn't happen. But if for some reason it does, those should be exactly the same size. So we should be okay, but I don't know. Let's get to work. So the new decals are on, and I have to say, worth every second of that little brief thing that you just saw. Pretty much nails it right on the head. Makes a statement, but it's not overblown. Ties in nice with the white on the saddlebag, the white on the tires, the white there on the trans cover. Just a little chrome bits, kind of put it on and kind of matches up with this chrome up here. Kind of ties in with some of the white on the sponsor decals on there, as well as the white / chrome lights and white decal down there. This side over here gave me a lot more trouble than the other side. I have no idea why. They're the exact same decal, exact same tank, exact same placement. So just kind of walk you through what you just saw is I was able to heat up and remove the old decals. They left behind a little bit of adhesive like I imagined. I hit that with just a little tiny bit of the Goo Gone spray to get it off without really messing up the vinyl. With these satin and flat vinyls, you have to be really careful what you use on them, or it can give them like a, basically turn into a gloss finish, and I don't think that I caused any damage from what I can see. And then what you saw after that is I was lining up these decals. How I did that was I used a piece of weed eater wire to kind of mark how far I was from the edge of that to the tip of that. I left that other side on while I put this one on. I know you guys saw it backwards in the edit, but I left one of those on to make sure that they both lined up, not only with each other, but are as close to the old position as possible, because I think the positioning of it is really good. I think it really centers the tank well. And in case you're watching this video and didn't watch the other one, let me try to make this as clear as possible. I made these myself. I own a decal cutting business. I can make them for myself. I cannot sell them. I cannot trade them. I cannot gift them. Huge trademark violation. I do not need any legal trouble, so I'm sorry. I wish I could sell these to you guys. Trust me, I really wish I could because I would make a lot of money, but I can't sell them, guys. I'm sorry. So guys, there you have it. The new decal. Oh, it looks so much better. Unfortunately, that's one of the tough parts about being a creator is when you mess up, a lot of people see it and a lot of people call you out for it. But I am man enough to know that when I'm wrong, just to admit that you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with being wrong and admitting it. I think there's more being wrong and just kind of being hard-headed about it. But like I said, I was in between those two renders at the beginning of the build and I just picked the wrong one, mostly because of the background kind of messing with my eyes. So you live and you learn. What are you gonna do? I'm happy with it now, and that's really all that matters. So guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't already, go ahead and punch that subscribe button. And as always, thank you for watching. See you guys next time.